This is Larry Jordan, the host of the Digital Production Buzz. The following interview is an excerpt from a recent program. To hear the entire program, visit digitalproductionbuzz.com. Dan Berube is the founder of the Boston Creative Pro User Group. He's also the co-producer with our own Mike Horton of the world-famous SuperMeets and a long-time recurring guest on the Buzz. Hello, Dan. It's good to have you back.
Hey, Larry. How are you? And
hello, Dan.
how's it going, Mike?
Dan,
I have one question for you.
Yeah.
We are listening.
Where's my contract?
Yeah. I've already signed the 3-year contract.
Mike signed on your behalf, so I'm sure that he'll deal all the business details to you a little bit later. Dan, how would you describe the SuperMeet?
I describe the SuperMeet as almost there. We are so excited. We are like on the eve of one of the baddest, greatest SuperMeets that we have put on in our history. And we're in our 14th year. Next year we have our 15th year, and God, I wish it was at the Riviera.
Yeah,
but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, for those of you, for those people who don't know, the Riviera is going to be blown up here in August.
I did not know that.
You did not know that?
Did not know that. So I'm glad to find out.
No, the SuperMeet is the last event the Riviera is going to have.
Are you this April?
They're closing in May.
Are you
and then they're
serious?
blowing it up in August.
After the SuperMeet, there's nothing
After
left.
the SuperMeet.
Well, trust me, we're not going to blow it up. We're going to put on a good show.
Yeah,
we're going to bring down the house.
We're going to bring down the house, right?
Dan, 14 years is a heck of a long time. What was it that encouraged you to start this with Mike all those years ago?
Oh my God. Well, it goes back to, again, I was doing Final Cut Pro consultations. I was working at the Apple Faneuil Hall Market Center. And I just basically decided to start doing another group. I was working with the Media 100 group. And then this thing called Final Cut just came out at NAB that was software based and could use the FireWire DV port on your computer, and that was it for me. I was working for a public television series, and I moved and started my own company, and here I am today.
Michael, you're in L.A., and Dan is in Boston. How'd the two of you guys ever connect?
A lot of Skyping.
Well, not just now, but I mean, what was it?
No, Dan and I first met at DV Expo in 1959, something like that.
1959, yes.
It was something like that. And Dan had come out. He was working for Canon, and we were having a user group meeting there with Apple, and Randy Ubelos was there, and Brian Meany was there. This was back in the days when Apple would actually send people down and actually do stuff.
I do remember those days.
Yeah, well, they were doing it then, and that's where we met. And Dan said that's when he was going to start the Boston Final Cut Pro User Group, and I said, "Yeah, good luck." It's like
exactly. It was a handshake and good luck, and there we are today. I think Milton Berle was at that event too.
Who was?
Back in okay, Milton Berle, right?
Yes, he was, and he was a very young guy at that time. In fact, he was the MC of that night. He and Bing Crosby.
Dan, you and Mike both run user groups in addition to the SuperMeet. And one of the things that Mike has remarked on many times is how hard it is to get people to come out to events like user groups. Are you seeing the same issue? Are people reluctant to show up for user group meetings or SuperMeets? And if so, how do you encourage them?
I tell you, it's all about learning from P.T. Barnum, leave them wanting more. And I do, and they come back every single month. I'm at a wonderful facility at Emerson College in Boston at the Paramount Theater and the Kevin Bright screening room. Kevin Bright launched it. He's the executive producer, was the executive producer of Friends, and is now the director of the Emerson LA campus on Sunset Boulevard. But, we've got a 2K theater over the summer where it's being retrofitted to a 4K theater.
Oh, wow.
And I just have wonderful, wonderful instances of people gathering together and talking to each other, screening their work, having some great speakers, and having a damn good time while we're doing it. So,
well, let's keep going with that because the SuperMeet's coming up, and you're carrying that same theme over to the SuperMeet. Have you and Mike ever announced the agenda, or are you still keeping it secret?
Yeah, but you have to pay attention. It was announced 3 months ago.
Yeah, we don't have an agenda. No, we
don't have an agenda, but we do have food.
Yeah. We do. We have what was it? Pickled?
Yeah, pickled corn.
meat?
Those little tiny
No,
little pickled corn.
No.
Well, I tell you, that
big
certainly makes
slabs
me
of
want to
meat
show up.
on big, poles stuck in the floor, and people just go up to it and nosh at it while they're talking to each other.
It's going to be awesome. You can, no, we do have the agenda. All you have to do is go to supermeet.com and check it out. It was announced, just about 5 days ago, something like that.
Who are some
Yeah,
of the...
we have Black Magic Design, we have HP and NVIDIA, we have Isotope, Ripple Training, Adobe, GenArts, Otherworld Computing. This is probably the best show that we've had.
This is a jam-packed show.
We have a little bit of everything for people to be able to sit there, watch, and then go back outside and talk to each other. And the biggest thing about the Super Meet is for people to get together and talk to each other.
Yeah, that's
Now, why is that so important to you, Dan? Because Mike says the same thing, but why is that so important?
Because no one talks to me. No, because I enjoy being with people. It's part of me. It's my inner being. It's a passion that comes from within me. There's passion, humility, and I love building these events that bring people together. And I hear.
No,
we're trying not to pick up on the humility.
That would be my answer. Because I do this because nobody talks to me.
I mean, I spend a lot of money doing it, but you know what? Every Super Meet, people talk to me.
At least I get to talk to people. Oh, that's pretty good.
It's all about relationships. This industry, it's the corniest phrase in the world, but it's so true. You have to get out, you have to talk to people, and you have to sell yourself and then listen to people. It's equal parts selling and listening.
Yeah,
and when you do that, magic happens.
Every time that Dan and I are asked that question, why do we do this kind of stuff? And the answers are corny, but it's honestly, it's really from the heart. It's what we hope to achieve at every Super Meet or every user group meeting, that people meet each other and talk to each other, learn from each other, help each other, and then hopefully collaborate with each other. And that's the biggest reward we get out of these things, and that's what keeps us going. And so we hope to do it again this year, and then the year after, and we'll continue going.
Just don't blow up another hotel next year.
No, we've already blown up the Stardust. Now we're blowing up the Riviera.
Dan, do you have a raffle?
We have a history.
Dan, do you have a raffle?
Do I have a raffle?
Yes,
we do have a raffle at the Super Meet. It is $1 billion.
Exactly.
And
we're giving away Lynda.com.
The biggest raffle we've had yet. We're giving away cameras, human beings, switchers, software, hardware. We're giving away a big DaVinci Resolve panel. What's bigger than what I'm doing? It's just a lot of things we're giving away. Plus, there's a big door prize for the first 500 people through the door get a 10,000 plus. Well, one lucky person gets a $10,000 HP workstation.
That's the workstation and the Dream Color monitor.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
And then everybody who registers and goes to the Super Meet is going to get a prize from GenArts. And Jeff Greenberg is going to rock the house with GenArts and is going to talk about that. So just show up, and you may win something in the raffle, but you're definitely going to win something from GenArts and all the loving that's in the room.
Yeah, everybody's going to go home with something. So that's going to be fun.
Dan, I know we've only got a few seconds left, but you've also got a film and competition called The Chain.
Oh, yeah.
And tell me, where can people go to learn more about that? Because that's such a cool film, and I really want people to be able to see what's going on with that.
Yes, we're screening April 18th at the Monadnock International Film Festival. So go to moniff.org.
How do you spell that?
Moniff, MONIFF.org. And you'll see our listing Saturday, April 18th under short films.
And how about SuperMeet? Where can people go?
SuperMeet.com with a double E, never with an E and A.
And how about with Boston Creative Pro User Group? Where can they go there?
Well, it's the acronym, but BOSCPUG.org.
All right, so let's hit them all. That's Moniff, MONIFF.com for Dan's film, SuperMeet.com for the SuperMeet, and BOSCPUG.org for Bossy Pug. Dan, thanks for joining us today.
See you, Dan, in 2 days.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.